Dear students, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today's our offline class is about embryonic development. Embryonic development includes cleavage, blastulation, implantation, gastrulation, and organogenesis. Cleavage. Cleavage is a series of rapid mitotic divisions of the zygote. Zygote, single-celled, gets converted into a multicellular structure, the blastula or blastocyst. 30 hours after the fertilization, the newly formed zygote divides into two cells, the blastomeres, in the upper portion of the fallopian tube or oviduct. This marks the first cleavage. The next division occurs within 40 hours after fertilization. The third division occurs about 3 days after fertilization. During these early cleavages, the young embryo slowly moves down the fallopian tube towards the uterus. About the end of fourth day, the embryo reaches the uterus with 8 to 16 blastomeres, the morula, or little mulberry, as it resembles mulberry. When the blastomeres divide completely, the cleavage is called holoblastic. Second stage, blastocyst formation or blastulation. Next stage of development, which produces an embryo with about 64 cells, a cavity is formed within the cell mass. This cavity is termed as blastocyst cavity or blastocoel or blastocele, and the embryo is termed as blastocyst. With an outer envelope of cells, the trophoblast or tropoectoderm, and inner cell mass or the embryoblast. The side of blastocyst to which the inner mass is attached is the embryonic or animal pole, while the opposite side is the abembryonic pole. The trophoblast encircles the blastocoel and the inner cell mass. The inner cell mass is the precursor of the embryo, that is, it gives rise to the embryo. The cells of trophoblast provide nutrition to the embryo. These cells later form the extra embryonic membranes like chorion, amnion, and part of placenta. The cells of the trophoblast, which are in contact with the inner cell mass, are the cells of Robber. Now, third stage, implantation. The attachment of the blastocyst to the uterine wall is termed as implantation. Implantation occurs after 7 days of fertilization. After 8 days, the trophoblast develops into two layers in the region of contact between the blastocyst and endometrium. These layers are syncytiotrophoblast, that contains non-distinct cell boundaries, and number 2, cytotrophoblast, which is between the inner cell mass, and syncytiotrophoblast, that is composed of distinct cells. The cells of inner cell mass differentiate into two layers. Number 1, a layer of small cuboidal cells known as the hypoblast or hippoblast layer, and number 2, a layer of high columnar cells called the epiblast layer. Both these layers constitute a flat disc called the embryonic disc. Role of Zona pellucida. Occasionally, the blastocyst implants close to the internal os. Function of zona pellucida is to prevent the implantation at an abnormal site. Zona pellucida does not expose the sticky and phagocytic cells of the trophoblast till it reaches the proper implantation site. As the blastocyst is formed, zooda pellucida becomes thinner and finally disappears. Role of human chorionic gonadotropin HCG. Trophoblastic cells secrete HCG hormone, which has similar properties to that of luteinizing hormone of the pituitary gland. It takes over the job of pituitary LH during pregnancy. HCG or human chorionic gonadotropin maintains the corpus luteum and stimulates it to secrete progesterone. Progesterone maintains the endometrium of the uterus and causes it to grow throughout pregnancy period. Progesterone also prevents menstruation. Progesterone also causes increased secretion of mucus in the cervix that forms a protective plug during pregnancy. The presence of human chorionic gonadotropin HCG in a woman's urine indicates her pregnancy, embryo, and fetus. In human beings, the developing organism from the conception until approximately the end of 8th week or 2 months is called the embryo. In human beings, an embryo is called a fetus from the end of the 8th week till birth. Now, next stage, gastrulation. The transformation of blastocyst into the gastrula with primary germ layers by the rearrangement of cells is termed as gastrulation. Gastrulation involves cell movements that help to attain new shape and morphology of the embryo. Cell movements are termed as morphogenetic movements. Three germ layers, namely ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm, are formed by these morphogenetic movements in case of triploblastic animals. In human beings, the germ layers are formed so quickly that it is difficult to determine the exact sequence of events. Formation of embryonic disc. The early blastocyst consists of inner cell mass and trophoblast. The inner cell mass contains cells called stem cells. Stem cells have the potency to give rise to all tissues and organs. The cells of inner cell mass differentiate into two layers around 8 days after fertilization, a hypoblast and epiblast. The hypoblast or hypoblast, that is the primitive endoderm, is a layer of smaller cuboidal cells, and the epiblast, primitive ectoderm, is a layer of large columnar cells. Cells of both hypoblast or hypoblast and epiblast form a two-layered embryonic disc. Formation of amniotic cavity. A space appears between epiblast and trophoblast called amniotic cavity, filled with amniotic fluid. The roof of this amniotic cavity is formed by amniogenetic cells derived from the trophoblast. Its floor is formed by the epiblast. Formation of extraembryonic coelom. The cells of trophoblast give rise to the mass of cells, the extraembryonic mesoderm, which lies outside the embryonic disc. The extraembryonic mesoderm is differentiated into number 1, outer somatopeluric extraembryonic mesoderm, and number 2, inner splanchno-peluric extraembryonic mesoderm. Both these layers enclose the extraembryonic coelom. Formation of chorion and amnion. The chorion is formed by the somatopeluric extraembryonic mesoderm inside and the trophoblast outside. The amnion is formed by the amniogenic cells inside and the somatopeluric extraembryonic mesoderm outside. Later, chorion becomes the main embryonic part of the placenta. chorion also produces HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin, an important pregnancy hormone. Amnion surrounds the embryo, forming the amniotic cavity filled with amniotic fluid. Amniotic fluid serves as a shock absorber for the fetus, regulates fetal body temperature, and prevents desiccation. Formation of yolk sac. Flattened cells arising from the hypoblast spread and line outside the blastocele or blastocoel. These are endodermal cells lining the primary yolk sac. With the appearance of extra embryonic mesoderm and later of the extra embryonic coelom, the yolk sac becomes much smaller than before and is now called the secondary yolk sac. This change in size is due to the change in the nature of the lining cells. These cells are no longer flattened but become cubical. The secondary yolk sac consists of outer splenochopeluric extraembryonic mesoderm and inner endodermal cells. Formation of primitive streak. Gastrulation involves the rearrangement and migration of cells from the epiblast. A faint groove on the dorsal surface of the epiblast is formed called the primitive streak. It elongates from the posterior to the entire part of the embryo. The primitive streak clearly establishes the head and the tail ends of the embryo as well as its right and left sides. Formation of germ layers, embryonic layers. The cells of the epiblast, after the formation of the primitive streak, move inward below the primitive streak and detach from the epiblast. This inverting movement is called invagination. Once the cells have invaginated, some of them separate from the hypoblast, forming endoderm. Endoderm develops first during embryonic development. Other cells remain between the epiblast and newly formed endoderm forms the mesoderm. Cells remaining in the epiblast form ectoderm. Thus, three germ layers, namely endoderm, mesoderm, and ectoderm, are formed, which give rise to all the tissues and organs of the body, which leads to the organogenesis.